Hey everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative. We're going to do something really simple today. And I know I still have to mix up my resin for this part. And there's one little tool that I want to get before I start to pour. Obviously I need to have my resin to do that. But I had a container up in my bathroom that has been around for a very, very long time. And I have finally decided that it was old enough that it was time I threw it out. However, I still need to replace what was upstairs in my bathroom. And that's what we're going to be making today. I have this container. It is one of the mixed mold molds. I have actually put rice in the center of this, so I'm not going to move this, and that's why it's sitting on this platform that it is. I did that because I know so I have two sets of this particular mold from Mixed Mold. The first that I had gotten, they replaced for me because when I made the piece, it actually sucked itself into the center. And this pot here is an example of what I ended up with. So let me take out all my utensils. And I'm going back quite a ways when I had done a video on it. So it had done this. It sucked it in on the inside. And one of the things before they got me the new set was they had said nest one inside the other, and other people who had, similar issues with other molds, not these ones, recommended putting rice on the inside just because it will hold it steady so it can't push itself in. Anyway, that's why I've got sitting there. That's why I have rice in it, just to make sure. Make my noise and put that off to the side. That nothing happens, because I want this container to come out correctly. What are we going to use in it? Well, I am going to use some Hemway craft glitter. And this is pink holographic. I'm also going to be using an eye candy periwinkle. This is also a glitter. And the two colors we're going to use are the pink, which I used in one of my last videos, and then this violet. And these are what we're going to make up. And I'm going to get, and I know you've seen me use it before, is one of the units. It's not a unit. It's a piece I can put in the top, so when I pour my resin through, it goes out through the little fingers, and I'll go get it, and we'll be using that because I thought I want to have a little bit of design on this. I had thought about doing a dirty pour with the two resins once I had them mixed up, but I thought, no, I like the idea of it sort of spreading itself around. So you'll understand what I mean. I am going to go get everything organized, ready to go, and then we will pour. I have everything mixed up. We're going to be working not with three colors, but I decided not to mix my glitter in with my actual colors. I decided to keep it separate. So we're going to have three things. We're going to have our light pink to pour in. It's a really pretty color too. I really like this pink. I wanted a soft pink color, and you can't, sometimes you just want a really interesting regular color. I guess if interesting and regular really don't go together, but I'm sure you know what I mean. I mean, there's some really cool colors out there and I love them, but the traditional colors are just as cool. And I'm just going to give these guys one sort of last stir up to make sure everything's mixed properly. And I can feel it warming up, but it's not a hot or anything like that. So we're good on that. Let's put that off to the side and wipe off my sticks. So if anybody being up to anything fun, I mean, our summer is almost over. And I know that there's some places in the States that have already gone back to school. We don't go back to school here until summer the 2nd, summer the 3rd. And I'm not, because the 1st is obviously Labor Day, and most schools should be starting back up on the 2nd. I know someone who's in university here that isn't starting until the 3rd. Now, I don't know if that's because of their particular classes or whatnot, but yeah, they don't start until the 3rd. But yeah, the summer has flown by. But I have to admit, as I get older, it just seems to go faster and faster. So here's what my glitter looks like. All right. And then I'm gonna have to cover this up as I talk and stir at the same time. And I used a container I'm gonna throw out so I don't have to think about cleaning the glitter out of that. This is, get my piece of paper away. This is what I was talking about, what I'm gonna be using in this piece. So can we get this over a little bit more? Get these guys out of the way. Get the resin off of my hand now. More paper towels everywhere. So this is what we're going to do. I think we'll start with the glitter. Yeah, you can see that. Okay. Should put these on something. Glitter's not moving very fast, is it? It'll start to flow. I'll just do it this way so you can see it. There we go. I love how it does this. I think this was such a cool unit for them to come out for paint pours, because I love how it looks. Now the only thing is when you start, you know, tilting things to get the paint all over the place on the canvas, you can lose obviously the design, but it's really cool. You almost need to just do this on a coaster or something like that. Hopefully we'll get something cool. And I'm seriously hoping so what I did with this one is I decided I'm going to start weighing. So I took my scale, I weighed the mold, and then I weighed how much liquid went into it. Now this looks like a really big mold. I'll admit it looks really big on the outside. However, I'm really hoping that what I came up with for the amount of resin I would need is correct, because it's really not going to be happy Natalie if it isn't. Yeah, because I don't really want to have to make more. I did make a little bit of extra like I usually do. But let's just keep going and see where we end up, eh? This is where you get mesmerized by what I'm doing. Yeah, see, you really want to make sure when you're doing something like this, because I've got a really cool design going on in there. And not to have enough resin would just be eek. And I mean total eek. But we shall see. And I'm feeling eek right now. Because I'm running out of resin and I'm not even 3/4 of the way up this yet. So, I think we can make it on what I've got. The audience gets quiet. Come on, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, hold on for a second. One thing I do want to do is I just kind of want to lift that up. Not that it'll matter, but let's just get that up for right now. All right. So we're going to have to start getting my stir sticks in here so I can get and maybe if I don't have enough I'll make some more, obviously, but maybe make it one of the solid colors instead of doing the design. All the way. Right. This is where I don't know for how many of you actually work with resin and other products and kind of going, oh, I hope I have enough. I hope I have enough. And I mean, we might be okay. I did make a little bit of extra, not like I went over what I'd actually had, which I normally do. That's not big enough, is it? But even still, you start freaking out a little bit. What would be a video if you couldn't freak out a little bit, eh? Wouldn't be much of a video. I know my hand's right in this, but you can sort of see down the side, right? We're getting close. I don't think I have quite enough. So like I say, what I'll probably end up doing then is I'll make up some more. I'm not sure how much, mind you, but we'll make up some more and we'll just do one color. So that it has a solid base, which won't look bad. I'll get as much resin out of this as possible. I'm just trying to think what color I'd like to put on the bottom of this. And I would like to think I'll use one of the colors I have in here. I mean, this is close. If I'd done maybe another 10 mils, I'd probably been okay. I don't really think I'm going to have enough to get out of these two pots that are left to fill it up. It's always a drag. I'm going to be totally honest, it's a drag. And that's one of the things I do get a little concerned about my scale every once in a while, if it's actually right. With, you know, what it's giving me for measurements. Come on, let it go. Come on. I want that last little drop out of there. All right. Wipe this off. I mean, we're close people, but I don't think I can pull it off. To get it all over the place. We are close though. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to get this out. Put that there. I'm just going to take that out. See if I can get some of the resin off of that. I mean, again, it's not going to make a whole bunch of difference. But it helps, doesn't it? Okay. I'm not gonna, as I say, I'm not gonna play with this, and then I just want to get, okay, I'm not gonna bother with that. Get that on there. Now things are getting sticky. And give me a second. I just want to spray this so I can get the resin off of it. Yeah. Stuff on my table, so I want to get it off. I'm going to clean up the rest in a moment. Let's see what we can get out of this guy. We are close. We're so close. We're so close, it's that annoying. I think this is going to look cool, though. Now, the other thing I could consider doing is letting this set up for a couple hours and then deciding if I wanted to, like, as I say, just make up some more, but just make it one color, or put like a totally different color on the bottom of this. I have another, and it's considered part of the pink family, but it's a totally different color. And then, I mean, I could, if I really wanted to. I still have some black polyurethane, so I could put that on the bottom. But I'm not sure I want to do that. I am so close, people. I am so close. Yeah, if I'd done like another 10, 20 mils, I'd have been perfect with this. So I'll have to maybe change my amount from, I had 145 and I probably made more than that, just a little bit more. All right, I'm pretty much all done with this. As I say, get the last drop in, eh? But it's not going to be enough to make it, so I'm going to stop doing that. So now it's a matter of, do we let it set up for a couple hours and then come back to it and put just a solid color on the bottom of it? Do I take the time now and mix up some extra resin so that I can finish it right now and then we're done, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Now, one thing I am going to do, just because of how this is sort of, I am going to just do this on the bottom. Just so that I don't have, you know, sort of the footprints in the bottom of this, because that I don't want. And then we can bring in some of the glitter and whatnot, the pink. So yeah, we'll do that, and hopefully it will, like, I won't have lines. Not that again, it's going to be at the bottom, so I'm not really bothered if I have some lines in the bottom of it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I want to. I think if I did polyurethane, like all of a sudden had this black, it wouldn't look right. So I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I'm just, and I've got to clean up my little tool over here, and I've got to clean this up. So I'm going to let you guys go, and when we come back and we're ready to take this out of the mold, well, you'll get to see what I decided with. Hopefully you can see well enough, because obviously, you know, I can't tilt it or anything like that. But I'll just spin it around for you and maybe push it back so you can see how it looks. Like, I mean, it looks pretty cool, I think, anyway. And it's just the fact that we're missing that much, right? Like, that's the kicker of all of this. Then I'm not just that little bit short. Anyway, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. And when we come back, we will take this out of the mold. And I'll leave myself a little note. Empty rice out first before you know, throw it all over the place. But I think, like, looking at this, we're gonna have some cool. And I mean, if I really wanted to be psychedelic with it, and I had something, would be to go down the sides, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to let it do its own thing, because I think it looks kind of cool the way it is right now. Yeah, it looks really cool in some spots, but I don't really have anything to go down the side, and I don't really want to start pushing on it. I don't think. I don't know what that would do if I did that. Anyway, let's not do that. Let's just let it do its own thing. And I will see how I want to finish this up. And the other thing I could do, and I'm not really sure about that, is just to put clear on the bottom. But anyway, that you will find out when we come back. I almost forgot to take my rice out, but I've got it out of the bottom of this now. So we can take this and get it out of its mold. So this is what it looks like. It has not, you know, gone in on itself, which is brilliant. I'll just slowly, so we can see the pattern. It would have been, in some ways, it would have been cool if I could have gone down and just sort of pulled something up, but I'm not sure how well that would have worked for me. And we gotta get this away, and I'm going to use one of my tools over here. I've shown you this before on just loosening this up to get some air down, like just to get it opened up. So all of this is just a, well, it's plastic, I think. It's not silicone, but just enough to get it so I can, because I've still got somewhat long nails and I'm ready for them to come off, but I did such a good job putting them on. I think I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer, but I have been cutting them down just so that I can work. It's too funny. I love doing them. I have a lot of fun doing them, but then I get to the point where it's like, okay, these need to come off now. I need to go back to my regular nails until the next event comes up or till I decide, yeah, I want to do my nails again. But anyway, okay, I just got to get this rolling. I don't want to scratch it again. I don't want my nails to scratch it. Come on, come on. Work with me. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, so we're going to have a matte finish on this, which is okay. I hadn't really thought about that, but of course it's meant for ceramic resin, right? So it's not, doesn't need to have a shiny side. Okay, pulling away from you so I can grab it. I really should have my gloves on. And the only reason I say that is because, yes, it's set, but at the same time, I tend to think that it could still pick up maybe marks from your hands. But anyway, whew, that's really light. I guess obviously so, right? It's resin, it's not ceramic resin. So let me just get my mold put back together. Oh, oh, I'm having issues this morning. Okay, just bear with me as I push this back together. There we go. No damage to the silicone. All right. Now, I will tell you what I did after I got off camera with you, because you'll be able to see it maybe at the bottom. I don't know if you can. So I just want to tilt this. You might be able to see that there are some glass pieces in the bottom of that. I put a little bit in the bottom, and then I made up some more resin. And what I did was I took the pink, like the light pink, and then I put in just some swirls of the darker pink just to finish up the bottom. I probably needed, I figured, about 160 mils of resin to do this complete piece. And that's what I've put down in my book now as to what I need to to do this mold with resin. All right. So this is what we have. So it's kind of interesting that it, you know, the bottom is looking like, or I shouldn't say that. The top looks like this, and then we've got the solid at the bottom here, which is kind of cool that it did that, because it does give it a different look to the piece overall. Now, I'm not sure sort of what happened in here, but as someone said to me, it's all part of the process and it's what it's done. And then on the inside, we've got that swirl, and then again, I don't know if I can get it so you can see it, but so we see how this is on the outside. It's not like that on the inside. It's almost like on the inside, it's blended itself all together. It's just the top part. I'm trying to see. I'm looking at this, so there, maybe like that. Does that give you enough of an angle that you can see the top is the same on the inside and the outside, but the bottom isn't. It's more blurred on the inside than it is, like this is very defined on the outside. It's definitely not that on the inside. And again, that doesn't matter to me because of what I'm using it for. And I actually think it's kind of interesting that it's done that. Now that must be some glitter that's in there. Anyway, this is what we've got. I'm going to let this set up. I'm probably so that this doesn't move around, I'm probably going to put a piece of cork or something on the bottom. I'm trying to think. This is going to be on a countertop, so it has the ability to slide. It shouldn't get wet. It's not like I'm putting wet things in here all the time. So I made it out of resin instead of the ceramic because I knew that it could get wet, maybe a little bit in the inside, and I didn't want that. I'll be cleaning this out on a regular basis, but I think I'm going to put something on the bottom of that anyway, just so it doesn't, slide too much in the bathroom. And then with the leftovers I had, after I got the bottom put on here, I've just made up these little flower pieces. These I'll probably make into earrings because I think they look so cute, but I'm probably going to color these just so they pop. And they are also a matte mold. So that is it. That's what we ended up with. I think that looks kind of cool because people would probably ask, so how did you manage to get looking like this here but not here? And it's all in the way it gets poured, right? Same tool was used for the whole thing, so I used this for the whole piece. I did take it out toward the end, and I didn't have it in when I poured the pink because I didn't need it in because we got enough of the design. So yeah, that's it. I'm looking forward to being able to use this in my washroom upstairs and replace the piece that I had. So that's it. That's all I've got for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you, have you been, has anyone tried using one of these? And the only thing I recommend too is that you have some isopropyl alcohol nearby for cleaning this out. Getting in between here is really hard. But as long as you get the majority of the resin off, you'll be able to use it over and over again. And technically they're meant for paint. They're not meant for resin, but hey, for me, they've got a second use. Anyways, again, thank you for watching. I hope you've been up to something creative today. Take care. We'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.